Welcome to Chapter 5. This would be a good time to give yourselves a little pat on the back there. I'm going to do it again, just for good measure. Now, we've gotten through the crux of Lighting 201. We've covered all the meat and potatoes. From here on out, I like that kind of saying, covered the meat and potatoes with gravy, maybe. But from here on out, it's all about learning to better visualize your scenes, to be able to see what a scene could potentially become by modifying your camera settings as well as the lighting. And then in Chapter 6, we go further to help refine further your lighting skills to get a better overall image. So it's going to be really fun. We're going to be showing you a lot of different things. This chapter is all about seeing like an artist, but thinking like a camera. It's all about approaching a scene, being able to see it for its potential, and then being able to understand how to get there or how to work your way into that look by thinking like your camera. So we're going to start this off with fog plus flash plus grid equals dramatic awesomeness. We're going to show you how simple things like camera changes to exposure, adding light, and then introducing fog into a scene can really create amazing overall effects. We're going to talk about BYOL. I'll tell you what that means in just a little bit. You're going to have to watch the video to find out. The 3-light setup that only requires one light. By the way, most of you guys know what BYOL is. Okay, so we're going to talk about how essentially we can approach outdoor scenes with one single light, yet still be able to achieve a 3-light look in that scene. We're going to talk about what about the fill light. What does that mean? Well, we haven't really talked a whole lot about using, fill lights because there's basically already a built-in fill light to every single scene, and we're going to discuss using that. And then when we get into Lighting 301, then of course we'll introduce multi-light setups where we actually set up our own fill light. But for now, let's use the fill light that already exists. Backlight plus gobo plus fog equals magic. If you don't know what that means, then, well, you're just out of luck. Visualizing light and color shifts. Again, being able to see or being able to predict what a scene is going to look like by kind of visualizing that light shift or the white balance shift if you were to cool or to warm something in camera. Mixing ambient plus gobo with flash. This is another kind of balancing type setup. We're going to take you back to that fine art boudoir scene and show you another really great image by balancing our ambient with our gobo and using flash as our main light. We're going to talk about how better light can again change everything. How you can look at a scene and how basically the scene can look really drab and dreary, but how better light can turn that boring scene into something really quite awesome. Now, in going through this entire chapter, I want you all to be constantly reminding yourself, this is all about visualization, meaning I want you all to be able to come out of this thinking, what would happen to a scene, or being able to predict in your mind what would happen to a scene if I were to adjust my camera exposure, darker or lighter, if I were to add more or less flash or change the quality of that light. Being able to visualize and predict, to be able to think like your camera, yet being able to interpret a scene like an artist to get to exactly the result that you want. All right, let's go ahead and get started.